Welcome back. So I didn't stay away as long as I thought I would. Turns out I don't really have much else um, going on in the weekends at the moment. So watched a little bit of TV, then came back and fixed up the garden and stuff. And yeah, I had more things that I wanted to do. I think I discussed them in the previous episode that I haven't done yet, but I figured instead of waiting until I'd done all that things, I'd make a couple of smaller episodes so I can share the progress because I'm quite happy with how it's going at the moment. It's starting to turn into more of my vision. Obviously, we've still got this walkway here that has absolutely nothing in it, so that should still be quite exciting when that comes through. I'm sure it's going to look terrible at the start, but I'll work on it until it looks satisfactory. So yeah, it's starting to look more like a Victorian garden now, which is nice. Let's go down and have a look. So I'm currently growing some ghast seeds. Now I need those for some potions. So ghasts, if you don't know, are an enemy in the Nether. They're big white block things that float around. I'm sure there's been plenty of them on my videos. And so they drop ghast tears, which are used in potion brewing and all sorts of other things, but it is really, really hard to get them, even in normal. Well, it's probably easier in in this mod pack because you can fly and things like that. But the thing is, when they die, because they're in the air and they're moving, everything that drops gets spread everywhere, and so often you'll kill them and all their drops will just drop into lava because they're flying over lava and things like that. And they don't drop tears every time, it's quite a rare drop, so I don't think there's many things that use ghast tears in the normal game, just some potions and things. And yeah, they're relatively hard to get, so in this mod pack you can sieve soul sand to get them, so I sieved a couple stacks of soul sand that got me 4 ghast tears, which is enough to create a ghast seed with the Britannia thing, 4 Imperio Essence, 4 ghast tears, and a Minicio seed. And so I made the ghast seeds and I've just planted it, and I'm trying to get it to spread so I can get a couple of seeds. And then when I've sorted out my 10-10-10 station, I will put it through there and then set up a farm for ghast tears. It'll just be a single 3x3 farm. I don't think I need that many ghast tears, but it'll be nice to have a source of them. So as you can see, I've finally sorted out what I'm going to do with this section. Still haven't sorted out what I'm going to do here. These 3 things, they kind of look alright as grass, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe some kind of water features or something. I think this place needs a water feature, so we'll see. This needs a roof on it, so it's just got some marble columns at the moment. This also needs the floor finished, but this marble that we get for the floor is very hard to get, and that's all I've been able to get so far. I have to sieve stone, which, I mean, yeah, wouldn't be that impossible to get it all, but the chest downstairs at the sieving station that I'm using is still full with all the netherrack stuff, all that broken gold ore and things, so I need to clean that up before I can start sieving more things. Anyway, so I've set up some storage drawers here. There's a storage drawer controller, just a bunch of spruce drawers. I've locked them all so that I can tightly control what happens down there. And then when stuff gets starting to be made, I can grab some of it and decide where to put it within this thing. I'm not entirely happy with how this looks. I wanted it to be more hidden away, but then I think it would look bad if I just finished covering it with the quartz. But yeah, we'll see. Again, a lot of things are kind of evolving. And I've gone with this Grimstone. I've never heard of it before, but I happened upon seeing that in NEI. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. So I made a bunch of Grimstone using it as like a planter box. Normally, in vanilla Minecraft, you use trapdoors. So you put the trapdoor there, and then you open the trapdoor, which puts it along the side, and then it's wooden, so it looks like a wooden planter box, which isn't too bad. But I thought I'd go with something else, seeing as we are in modded Minecraft. Try and make use of all the stuff that we're able to get. So yeah, done that. Here you can see all the storage drawers and stuff. Managed to make a few. Oh, I'm missing one there, aren't I? A few lily pads of fertility. Set up a couple of pools underneath the gardens and ran a bunch of cables. These are just the item cables. The power cables, the red ones, are only going to here. So the first one that I fully flesh out will be this garden section. Oh, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. So yeah, if we go down here, so you can see it's pretty full after sifting some soul sand and some stone and stuff to get. So you get limestone and you get marble from sifting stone, plus some other things like these iron ore berries, essence ore berries. So yeah, I used up 2 stacks of rubies, so I had 2 and a little bit stacks of rubies of all that netherrack sifting, so I used those up. You can kind of see from here, fleshed out the assembly table area a bit more. Yeah, that's pretty much been all that I've done. Yeah, see that's starting to spread, that's good. So yeah, you can see we've got a bit more. Still need to finish that side and then the top. So yeah, it's coming along. Certainly will work a lot quicker than it did. So if we build a redstone one, as soon as the power starts coming in full force, look at it's done before it even comes online. So yeah, I'm really happy with that, and it'll only get quicker as we finish setting it up. So one of the things I'm working towards is a magnum torch. Now a magnum torch puts out as much light as a normal torch, but it also disables mob spawn in a 64 block radius. So they're quite expensive. If I go back to the recipe, so we need a potion of regeneration 2 and a potion of healing 2, plus some chandeliers and some wood. So what I'm currently doing now is setting up the infrastructure for making potions, and yeah, I'll put down a couple of magnum torches so they work on a 64 block radius. So probably four torches will do the whole of the garden area, because I want to put a bit of mood lighting and things, and because I'm putting enough effort into the aesthetics of it, I don't just want a bunch of torches around like I have now. And I may even do something about these current sections and put a bunch of magnum torches and stuff down. So it means if I missed a block or two in the lighting, that it actually we still are avoiding mob swarms. So I've created this auto brewer. It's a fairly straightforward craft. And then what it is you put the things through here and it goes through the steps, because to make the potions is a multi-step process. So if we go for the potion of regeneration, so in order to make a potion of regeneration, we need glowstone dust, or make a potion of regeneration 2, we need glowstone dust and a potion of regeneration. To make the potion of regeneration, we need a ghast tear and an awkward potion. And then to make the awkward potion, we need a water bottle and a nether wart. So, yeah, multi-step. I've got plenty of nether wart from the mob system, so that's fine, and plenty of bottles from there. I just need to hook up a water source, then this will automatically turn the glass bottles into water bottles. And then, so the awkward potion gets crafted, puts down into this step. This is where I will put the ghast tears, and then that would create potion of regeneration, put it down here, put glowstone dust, and that will turn it into a potion of regeneration 2. And I don't know if you can do multiple things, whether it keeps pushing it down, so I might set up another auto brewer because we need 2 different potions. So we need regeneration 2 and healing 2, which I haven't looked. So it's glowstone and okay, it needs glistering watermelon. Lovely. I think that's, yeah, watermelon surrounded in gold nuggets. So I might just like, I'm not expecting to need hundreds and hundreds of these potions. I just want a stack of each. So things like that glistering watermelon, I'll just craft that myself and put that in there. It's just that the brewing part of the potion actually takes a little while per potion, and if you do it through the normal vanilla brewing stand, it's a very manual process where you put all the ingredients in and it does the brewing, and then you have to get the potions out. I believe the most automatic way you can kind of do that is there's this big machine that you can, or big kind of redstone circuits you can do to feed all the items in, but you still need to push a button to actually brew the potion. So you push a button that brews the potions, and you have to come back and push the button again so it ejects those potions and brews some more. So, you know, there's still a lot of manual effort in brewing a stack of potions. I just want to put everything in there and know that it'll work. So yeah, that's the progress. The next steps mainly is to get the 10-10-10 station working so that I can 10-10-10 these ghast seeds and put them, craft up a whole bunch of harvesters as much as I can and start putting them in. And yeah, once the 10-10-10 station's in, then yeah, start looking at what seeds I want to start growing and what I need to do to get those seeds and fill out the farm. So yeah, I've got heaps of lily pads now. I think just those 2 nature plants there even unupgraded just because I've kind of had all these other processes to do. I think they'll be fine. I don't think, unless I use nature essence for anything else. So we can make mossy stone, we can make vines, lily pads, which I've done, mycelium, which I definitely don't need, cactus, which I definitely don't need, thorns is alright, we could make wood, which I definitely don't need. Okay, I can make all the different types of wood. But then it's only wood, it's not giving you the seeds for those things, so you're still very limited. So yeah, vines, yeah, maybe thorns books, but yeah, that's it. So I definitely don't need to have a permanent spot in the farm for them, so they'll stay out of there. And I've set it up. Actually, I need to put a whole bunch of upgrades and stuff on these storage drawers. But I've set it up that there should be more drawers here than there are farms. So actually, maybe not now that I've put these other farms in the corners. So there was 48 farms, and I do believe I have like 80 storage drawers. So that means that I can put something like gas tiers there, run them for a day or two, get a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 or so, and remove them from the garden and store the seeds somewhere. That's another thing we probably need is a place to store the seeds when we're not actually growing the things, because I'm sure we'll have a whole bunch of seeds, and when you have 10 stuff, you want to keep that kind of thing. So this might need a bit more of a redesign. I'm definitely not against adding more capacity at the moment, just because I do want to know that whenever I grow something, I'll have a spare storage drawer to put it in. I think it should do for now, and it's not that hard of a process to reconfigure storage drawers and things. So yeah, we'll leave it like that, but I do want to get some upgrades on there because they only hold 2048 items normally like that. And for certain things like redstone and stuff, like I want it to be able to hold 20,000 redstone. And yeah, redstone and gold will be... So I might set up the gas tiers in there, and then the redstone, half gold there maybe. And then that should get me started, and then as I set up more farms, because I haven't got the power going through here, plus I need to craft the harvesters, then this one could be all gold and this one could be all redstone. Yeah, things to think about. I have no idea how to do this 10 station properly, that I can completely leave it alone and come back to a whole chest of 10 seeds. So I need to do a bit of research, a bit of experimentation to get that working. The other thing is the diesel generator downstairs, is getting that working consistently. Maybe create a couple more capacitor banks so that even if we aren't using all the power, we can keep it running. Yeah. So those will be the things that I'll probably have done by the next episode. I just didn't want to wait until then to do it all, because I don't know when I'm going to get around to it. This obviously has been a little bit of work to get done. Certainly putting all those bricks in and stuff where I had the gravel and setting that up was very tedious and took hours and hours to get all that done. But I'm happy with it. The bricks weren't exactly what I wanted to go for. I wanted to go for a kind of like a crushed seashell look, and I just couldn't find any blocks that looked like that. And actually, this morning after I'd done it all, I kind of thought about it, and maybe the cobblestone, because you can make cobblestone in all different colors. So maybe the white cobblestone could have been that look. But I think, to me anyway, cobblestone is a very distinctive pattern right now. Like, I instantly recognize cobblestone. Like, I can look at this blue stuff, and even though it's blue, you can still go, yep, that's cobblestone. So, yeah, I'm not sure that if it was white cobblestone, whether it would look like a kind of gravelly seashell kind of path pattern or whether it would just look like white cobblestone. So yeah, for now I'm quite happy with it. It's certainly starting to look a lot more closer to my vision, and yeah, it's quite nice. I think I'm definitely gearing up to do a second playthrough of Project Ozone, and I want to do a lot more stuff like this, where it's very themed, very aesthetically pleasing to me at least, quite ornate, quite involved to get done, but makes the base look really, really nice. And I want to have like a coherent kind of theme to it all as well for next time. And that will take some thinking. Like you've got mob farms, you've got storage systems, you've got smelteries and cobble gen and tree farms and things. So this works well for a garden because, you know, it is a garden and we're planting a whole bunch of stuff there. But when you've just got a whole bunch of machines doing ore processing, you know, what looks good for that? So yeah, I've got some ideas kind of churning through my head. I won't be playing Garden of Glass though, which is what this map was. We start with just a little block, so it is a sky block type map, but the version of it is Garden of Glass. What I want to play is Skylands. Now I didn't realize that there is different maps when I started. I knew there was Titan, which is basically you start with a completely flat land of snow, and if you dig down like 60 layers you can get to bedrock and a little bit of stone down there, but generally you're not actually going to go mining. And that didn't interest me, working in the snow. But there is Skylands, which is, it's in the sky like this, but you actually have a whole bunch of islands and stuff to work on, which I don't know if they have any ore or anything, but the whole thing that I wanted to do with this one was islands. This save is actually called Floating Islands, and yeah, I wanted to have a whole big floating island with like a forest and paths to buildings that have all the things and make it look like a kind of a village and stuff. But that didn't work out because I realized how much effort was going to go into making the island. Like literally probably a couple of months, maybe 6 months of just like building stuff and gathering the resources and stone just to do all that at the scale that I wanted to do. So if you look at how big this base is, I probably wanted to make it maybe 5 to 10 times bigger than this, so that you have a lot of like open fields and forests and a desert and things like that. And it, you know, it's not just big enough to fit the base, it's big enough with heaps of room. So yeah, so we didn't end up going with that. I'm still quite happy with this base. Certainly with the garden area, I'm quite happy with that. So yeah, already thinking about my next playthrough, but I'm not going to give up on this one. Certainly, because I want the next playthrough to be really well planned out. That means that I need to know what machines I'm going to do, what kind of sizes of areas am I going to need for those things, how do I automate those things, and how big is the automation going to be, and all that sort of stuff. So this is like my learning playthrough. Use all the machines, get to know what they do, especially machines that do the same thing as other machines. You know, what's the pros and cons of choosing one over the other, and stuff like that. And yeah, and then the next playthrough can be quite ordered, quite planned out and structured, and yeah, come up with something good. And I want to see kind of how quickly I can make things come together. and how unique to me I can make them look, and the paths that I take to get there and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll leave it here. I'll try and get the 10-10-10 station done and stuff so that we can start filling this out. I still need to decide a lot of the seeds and stuff. Because of Magic Crops using the same nomenclature for their things, I know that I can search for essence, and that gives me all their things. So we've got like skeleton essence that we can create with skeleton seeds. Actually, I wonder if they're all seeds. If we put a space in front of there. So these, looks like these are mostly the things that you can grow. So that's interesting. Imperio seed bag. Plant seeds. Okay, I'll have to look up what that stuff kind of does. Sesame seed. Oh, right, the Pam's Harvest Craft stuff isn't showing up because it's just called seed. So there's quite a few. Like Pam's Harvest Craft adds a lot of different plants. They all, as far as I know, most of them look different to each other, so they can be really good for decorative gardens because you can have a whole bunch of different plants in there. But they all make food, and as far as I know, the food doesn't have any special properties to it. It's not like potions. They just fill up your hunger bar. So for me, having all these cows and stuff spawn, I've got plenty of meat to cook up and use. I don't need to go through all the effort. I know some people just like doing that because you can make all sorts of like stir fries and things. You can get really complicated into the food recipes and set up a whole kitchen and stuff. Which could be interesting, but is a bit tangential to what we're doing in Project Ozone. Yeah, so this is the list of the seeds, I guess, and I'll go through and try and see what they all are and which ones I think are going to be the most useful. Probably most of the metal ones. Yeah, lightning plant seeds, ender plant, rain plant, slime plant. But yeah, probably none of those mod ones, but things like Ardite and Cobalt, although they've probably got manual in there anyway. Things like Fluix seeds, Certus Quartz seeds, I think I saw those, yeah. Definitely get a whole bunch of those ones. And there's a whole bunch of stuff, like we've seen the nature seeds before, but then we've got water seeds, air seeds, I think there's earth seeds and stuff, yeah. So, actually, looking at what earth essence is used for. So just dirt and clay for earth essence. But yeah, there's a lot of going through and actually checking all this stuff out. Which ones do I want? And obviously I've got a set amount of gardens, so I'll probably try and keep at least one square, so 4 gardens that are free, so that whenever I need something I can quickly get the seed, 10 it, and chuck it in there for an hour or two and get a couple of stacks of certain items and things as I need them. Because I'm sure I'll be using a lot of stuff, and there'll only be a couple of things that I need lots and lots of. Yeah. So I'll leave it here, and hopefully I would have made a lot more progress on all this gardening stuff in the next video. and maybe made the Magnum torches so I can show you those. I'm planning to put them under the planters, so underneath these. So if they work in a 64 block radius, I'm planning that to go for symmetry, I'll make 8 torches and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that will cover the whole area. And then that means that I can take all the torches out, and it can actually get dark and not have mobs spawn. So I'll probably test that out from very far away, looking at it in a non-blood moon night. And if no mobs spawn, then that's cool. Because I want to set up some kind of like fairy lighting or stuff, some atmospheric lighting, so that it doesn't have to be completely lit up at night, that you can walk around a dark garden and not be afraid that there's a whole bunch of mobs going to be spawning. So yeah, I think that could be cool, and if that works reasonably well, it might be something I can extend to the rest of the base. And yeah, if we have no mob spawning, then I can put lighting where I want lighting rather than knowing that I have to have lighting everywhere. The other thing I've completely forgotten about until now is the mana generation, using the Gormorillus and that sort of stuff. So I've left that for now, but like I've said before, my intention would be to 10-10-10 some potato seeds, set up a couple of harvesters, and use those instead of that system to feed some Gormorillus and things, which yeah, shouldn't be too hard to do, but again, I need to get the 10-10-10 station set up. So actually, instead of the gas tears or anything, potato seeds might be the first thing I 10-10-10. So yeah, I'll hopefully make a lot more progress towards those things before the next episode, which will probably be tomorrow, maybe tonight, depending on how easily I can find the information that I want. Yeah, so I'll see you next time.